is a beautiful Sunday morning. The cloud cover's great, the weather's great, got a ton of great people, and most important, we have some sick machines here. This is just the cream of the crop of California custom culture. And I know there's people here. I know one of the winners, gets to go to Moon Eye Show in Japan. He wins a full paid trip with his bike to go be at the Moon Eye Show. And there's some really, the invited builders section, there's some really amazing creative work there. I was just looking at a blown knucklehead that was pretty spectacular. I think it won
the green one?
Show, yeah, from Crybaby.
Yep.
So that tank that's in my hallway that I'm putting on that knucklehead, Crybaby, that's a Crybaby tank.
Got it.
That, yeah. So walk around and do some stuff.
A lot of mingling today.
I think I need to stick a hat on it.
We'll find you one.
Forever is a time to be with you. Playing games, show me how you jump off a cliff into the water. Taxi boat, where's that behind? Rainbow rain in every color. We go around the island. What do you mean it's a one way? We're in the middle of nowhere, and all we wanna do is fall in love. Yeah.
You think you were gonna get out of being in the video? Joined by Dominic, Relentless Cycles, and his handler, Jamie.
Handler, the
boss woman. So what are we thinking so far? Born Free.
Love it, absolutely love it. It's been good. Today's way better because it's a little cloudy, so
and less crowded.
Yeah, less crowded, and it's nice out. The bikes are sick. Huge turnout out here. So,
how was the drive in, by the way, in the F-Tray 50?
Oh, it was good. Made good time. And I didn't have to fill with gas.
Nice.
I made Paul do it this morning. We were on fumes. So.
Have you seen any bikes that you're like super stoked on?
I actually really like this thing, to be honest. I didn't think I would like it. I always like Dom's bikes, but
what? All of a sudden? All of a sudden he switches up.
Yeah. No.
Hey, sounds like he just lost $3 an hour in pay.
Free agent people, who's hired?
I'm taking everybody's money. Come on.
No, I like that bike. I didn't think I would like it because I hate blue, but I really like that blue.
It's a good looking wagon.
Yes, it is. It's wild.
And for us being in the valley, it's weird to not see a Trask turbo on something.
It is. That is.
It throws me off.
Yes. Yeah, and I thought that was going to be kind of a cluster together bike, but they did it really nice. But yeah, I got to give. I mean, I love Dom's bike. I have to.
Hey, is today the performance show?
Oh yeah, brother.
Do you think you're gonna take some hardware home?
It'd be neat.
You're 3 for 3 right now, right?
No, I lost a couple. It'd be neat though.
It would be cool.
It'd be cool. It'd be a lot cool if we did.
It'd be real cool if we did.
Oh, there's some flashy paint jobs.
Yeah.
That always wins.
Hey, the shiny chrome. Chrome gets you home.
And dome.
Woo!
Give me some chrome then.
Carbon fiber for way too long.
You guys just now tell me this? I'm going home. I'm chroming everything. Honey, I'm home.
On the road with a motorbike, hanging around between the mountains, coast to coast, you know how to drive. Dragonflies around the sunset, can you believe we're together? We're celebrating September. What do you mean it's forever? Forever is a time to be with you. Playing games, show me how you jump off a cliff into the water. Taxi boat, where's that behind? Rainbow rain in every color. We go around the island. What do you mean it's a one way?
Oh my gosh, it wanted to. Hey, I appreciate you. You still get to stay here. We're letting the losers stick around this year. Only for the United States. Alright. Here we go. We're up to the flathead. The Dance Crasher. And it's classic and custom.
We are the Ives Brothers Wall of Death. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just a few Georgia boys traveling around America doing stunt shows on motorcycles, just like what you guys are about to see. What you guys are about to see is called the Wall of Death. This is the oldest. And they asked us if we'd be interested in riding an electric bike on the wall, and we didn't really think about it. We're just like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And then we got it yesterday, no, the day before yesterday, we brought it in here for the first time, and we quickly realized that it's way too fast, and it's way too tall, and way too long, and pretty dang heavy. It's got 80 horsepower. It's pretty gnarly, dude. It's not really a good idea. So bringing it up is my older brother, Cody Ives.
Let's go!
It's completely silent, so we're depending on you guys to make all the noise for him. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Ives, he's coming at you.
So, one more time, long waves like a hot dog bun, place it between 2 fingers, contribution, you leave with a smile.
Weather, oh my God, beautiful. That's about it.
That's about it.
I've never been to Born Free, and I've always heard that
really?
it's been so hot out here and everything. And then, yeah, the weather's been absolutely perfect. It's been a gorgeous weekend.
2 years ago was brutal.
Yeah.
We're here with Steve Chamberlain. How was the ride in from St. Louis?
We ended up trucking to NorCal, then we were going to ride the coast down on the brand new FXR. We had some troubles with another bike, and then ended up loading back in the truck, and we took him down here. But bike's still rideable, you know, brand new FXR build that I'm on, and we've been riding around here, so everything's good with that.
Well, congratulations on your SEC win. That's awesome. That's a big deal.
Yeah, best Performance FXR yesterday, so
Wow,
that was awesome.
Fucking awesome.
That's a big deal, dude. Congratulations.
You know, first
especially in that
Born Free,
crowd.
my first FXR, and be able to
That's
pull
great.
that out.
How
so
great is that?
I was pretty
That's awesome.
stoked.
For sure.
So we were talking earlier, Paul, about putting your bike in a bike show and like the mindset you need to be in. Lay into that.
Well, just my opinion, you know. But you know, if you're going to put your bike in a show, and I did that a lot when I was, beginning my career or whatever, and you got to have a frame of mind of that. You're asking a complete stranger to judge your work, right? And you got to take that with a grain of salt. You know, it's very possible that they don't see all the shit you did. They don't know everything about your bike, and it's very possible they do see it all, and appreciate it. But me, the enjoyment should come, or it does come for me. What gets me off is standing over somewhere and maybe watching somebody with a friend or two walk up to a bike, and their eyes light up, and they get a big smile, and they start pointing at shit, and they, whatever they do, but you can see an emotional response. Right, and when it's joyous, when it's bringing somebody, when somebody's getting off on it, there's nothing better than that, because you slaved and worked and stayed up late nights and did all the shit you did to get that thing done, and all the ideas you came up with and all the hard work, and to see it evoke an emotional response from somebody is incredibly gratifying, in my opinion, and that's enough.
Yeah,
that's enough.
I'd say it's an amazing feeling when you have that. Like, you get the person that comes up and they're like, "How did you do this?
Sure,
what
right.
made you think of that?"
Is that your bike?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
you're
gotta
like,
ask
all right,
you,
and
right?
you start
Yeah.
going over things, and
Sure.
now you're getting an emotional response out of me because you're excited, I'm excited, I want to talk about it, I built it, and, just to see everything that happened, and I love it.
It's like a handy. No, I'm just gonna stand here. Go.
So what stood out to you at the show, whether it was on the FXR or San Diego Custom side of the house or the invited builders?
So the guys that are into this FXR culture, and that's been a personal, I don't even know the right word, but it's been a passion of mine for my entire career. Right, I started on, it's when I cut my teeth on, was FXRs, and in the 90s when we were working at our shop and building bikes, and it was a completely different, evolved into a much more elaborate builds. But we were just bolting on chrome, and we were just taking aftermarket parts and doing cam jobs and hopping up motors and stuff. It was just, everybody was riding, it was great, and the FXRs was they were everywhere, right? It was what we did. So I have a personal love and passion for FXRs, and I'm very opinionated about FXRs. So, but that's just my stuff, right? But then you go out on the other side of the field, and you go out to the invited builders area, and both the invited builders that Harley gave bikes to, where guys customized stock Harleys. The job those guys did are spectacular, right? And very different from bike to bike to bike, right? But super cool, great ideas, and it's nice to see these guys setting that stuff up. But then you go to the guys who built something from scratch, or really, put thousands of hours, into something, creating their vision. The guys that are coming from Asia, holy shit, man, these guys are killing it. It's kind of like when we go to the Italian shows. Dude, there's builders, European builders from 20, 30 countries with their bikes in these shows. It's unbelievable, mind-blowing. But you have to really stare, right? And you have to study, and then you find these little things that this guy spent a week. Just to have this little detail.
Especially when you're
right?
a builder, you start understanding the
sure.
details.
And
That they've put into it.
It's absolutely right. And as a guy who's done it or can see it or does see it, you appreciate. You're like, holy crap, that wasn't easy. Or look, oh my God, look what he did here. Well, there's an idea.
Telling us earlier that Springer fork, and you're like, that guy dished the Springer fork. And
he just wanted a different reflection there, right?
Yeah, and he's like, absolutely, I know that it never came like that.
No.
And that guy probably has 10 hours into that. Most people walk past, they don't notice it, but you do notice it.
And it looks
see that, and it's
the
like,
coolest thing is when they accomplish it, and it looks like it was always there.
Yeah.
It looked like you're like, did that come from the factory like that? Then I'm like, no, that didn't come from the factory like that. But it looks like it should have or always was there. And that's pretty.
Whenever I see the hours somebody put in on a bike, it always makes me think, just from building bikes personally, is like, how many times they had to go back to the drawing board, or how many parts did they to get to this finished product?
I can tell you, I consider that like a pride thing. Dude, I'll work for a week on something and go, nope, that sucks.
Yeah,
and I'll throw it away. You know what I mean? Because it ain't going on my bike. Because I thought it was going to be cool, and it wasn't. And I've done that a lot. And you got to do that to get to the end. You got to do that to realize what your vision is. Right? You got to be.
You got to see it through.
You just got to eat it.
Yeah, you got to have the idea, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you can't be too prideful to throw it away.
I was talking to somebody this morning too about how much time we have in these bikes, and especially when you're doing it for customers, there's just no way you can ever charge somebody for the actual hours you have in the bike. You know what I mean? So there's a time where you just have to. I've had some customers. I built a bike it was a rubber-mounted knucklehead, right? And the bike started taking on a life of its own as and it changed directions from what it was supposed to be. And I called the customer, and he had a budget and an idea of what he wanted to spend on the bike. And I said, Scott, I said, this bike is like really becoming something spectacular. And I'm like, and you have to let me finish it. And of course he was like, how much is that going to cost me? I said, dude, I just shut the clock off. I said, it's not about that. It's about, this is really going to be a special motorcycle. And he's like, well, is it going to be done for Sturgis? And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm like, you have to. He's like, well, what am I going to ride to Sturgis? I said, go buy a road glide and I'll do a quick, cool road glide for you to ride to Sturgis. But you need to let me do what I need to do to this. And he did. He was great about it.
We talking about the rubber nucky?
The rubber nucky, yeah. And he still owns that bike, and he rides it like it's a factory FXR. He rips that thing, and that's if I put that's probably $150,000 motorcycle, maybe a $200,000 motorcycle. He didn't, pay anything for that, but having patrons like that, and that's what they are. They're patrons. Having somebody who will let you go the distance, right, and finish, is because I can't afford to build all those bikes. Right, I'm the builder. I'm not the banker. Right? But and I get very attached to those bikes and to the customers too that let me, do that. It's a very special relationship. And I appreciate it. I've always been fortunate to have guys that let me go crazy, So
overall, how has Born Free Weekend been?
I've only been here for one day, but the day's been great. Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, got to see a bunch of friends last night, hang out in front of the hotel. It was awesome. We laughed a lot, and that catching up with everybody's really, really nice. And then being here, and I haven't done my last lap. I'm still going to do my last lap, but the day's been beautiful. The bikes are beautiful. There's tons of great people here. People that love the bikes. I've bumped into some people that I know of, like this guy, but we don't talk on the phone every day. We're not, but then I see you in person and catch up and actually meet people in person and share stories and create friends. right? So yeah.
Hell yeah, man. We'll see you on
I'm
stage.
making friends.
There we go. Getting in on the raffle, Paul?
Yes, sir. Why not?
Come on. A pinhead or a shovel.
Dude, I've never won anything.
Today will be the day.
Well, except for bike shows. But nothing other than that. Yeah.
Give it to yourself.
That's awesome.
Nailed it.
There you go, man.
Come on. Born free.
My father used to play the harp, and
that right?
he could listen to any song, listen to it once on the radio, and play it back to me. Yeah, on the harmonica. Yeah.
Nailed it.
He taught for years. He tried to get me to pick that thing up, and I still have his harmonica. It's in a
One of the
display
I bet
case.
it has a push button on it.
He does. Yeah, it
My
does.
dad,
Yeah, it
same
changes
thing.
chords, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he tried for years to get me to pick it up, and I wish now, where I am now, I wish I could pull that thing out of my pocket.
It's never
and just
too late.
Jam.
Yeah.
You know, wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. But I never did.
What was your name, man?
Dan Rose.
Graf, nice to meet you.
Graf, all right. You part of Paul's entourage?
I'm his
He
videographer.
runs around with me.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
There we go, Bubba. Well, you're going to be on YouTube on Tuesday, man, so look out for it.
Seriously?
Yeah, buddy. I'll put you in the intro.
You'll be on our
yeah.
channel. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice to meet you, Dan.
Well, you as well.
Thank you for
I'm
saying
putting
hi.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of this stuff ever. This is like my first time.
I do a ton of it, but it never gets any better. You my guy in the audience and become your friend.
Yeah.
Then you're good. That's all you
Okay.
see. Yeah.
So you don't look for the tits?
That's it. You just talk to one. The tits are better. Talk to the tits, but it gives me that goofy look.
Yeah.
I it's like, num.
We're getting ready here. I want to talk a few things. We started a show in Texas. This will be the 5th year in October. It's the 3rd weekend in October. We do it out of the Yellow Rose Canyon in East Texas. It's 40 miles to the Louisiana state line. 2.5 hours east of Dallas, 2.5 hours north of Houston. Beautiful place. It's 12 times as big as this property. I'm not shitting you. Full-time RV park, tons of room for camping. It's great. Racetrack, dirt.
Let's get them up here. So, similar to the way Born Free does, they're voting for their invited builders. We let the builders vote amongst themselves as well. So, they got a 1st, 2nd, 3rd place, but first we're gonna kind of run it down because we only have 6, not 17. We're gonna let them kind of talk about it. We made some nice little trophies for everybody for participating, and let's run through that, and then we're gonna move on to the winner.
It's a fully custom frame. I started with a Harley-Davidson frame. I used basically just a little bit of the rear of the frame, stretched it, ate up, you know, just
The man who needs no introduction, Paul, here you go. Here is your participation trophy. Yeah, we said we were going to hold hands up here while we did this. Here, I got you. He was a little nervous. He's never been on stage before. So, give us a rundown of your bike.
Thanks for making me feel okay. I appreciate that. Yeah. It's a 1990 FXRT. It's ridiculously customized, but in a very respectful way to the original chassis of an FXRT. It just looks long and low. But original motor, original tranny, original frame, sheet metal, all crazy modified fairing banks, all that stuff. But it's a ripper.
It's another beautiful machine. You know, all you guys, extremely talented builders. It was definitely a hard group of individuals to judge. Jimmy Light is next up on the podium. Come on, Jimmy.
On the bike, so they told me to just say that and leave. So I'm done, right?
Almost.
No. It's a custom chrome moly frame, FXR style, older stuff, bright red, you know. It's got a billet engine, bunch of parts we made, you know. It fits what it is.
Gives that real 90s vibe. I love it.
Well, that's what we're shooting for. He said, build what you think's a chopper. When I was younger, that's what I thought was a chopper. So there it is.
It's definitely a time machine. Here's this piece. Thank you for participating. Brown has thrown in some money for the winner. So 3rd place, we're gonna start there, is getting $500 from Russ Brown. Which one of these lovely ladies is handing it over? Amanda, come on up. $500, 3rd place. Are you guys ready? Can I get a drum roll? Can we do drum rolls on 3rd? Let's do drum rolls on 3rd. Yeah. All right, ready? 3rd place, voted amongst your peers. 2nd place. Where's the drum roll? You guys, I thought I was going to ask you to do the drum roll thing. Come on, let's work together here. Do the drum roll. All right. 2nd place goes to Jimmy Light.
Yeah.
Come on, Jimmy. All right. Let's give us a last comment for that bike.
The first one, Chip's gay.
And that's all. You got the cameras over here. I don't know what you're looking at.
Hey, let's give it up for black t-shirts today. A lot of black t-shirts out there.
You nailed it.
Memphis Shades, Fueling, S&S, HPR. Yeah, we got some good drum rolls. Okay, third place. You guys ready? All right. Third place trophy. Jerry Abrams, come on up. Jerry.
Oh!
Dominic's coming up. He might have to do some Vidal Sassoon in his hair before he gets up here. Come on, Dominic. That flowing mane is out of control, brother. Here you go, first place trophy. There's a bunch of goodies right there for you. And let's get the rundown.
Thank you. First off, thanks. There's a lot of nasty bikes out there. I think there's fucking 5 or 10 that could have won. So thank you for liking enough to pick mine. I own Relentless Cycles. It was a 22 lowrider S. We stripped down to the frame, smoothed the frame, chrome polished every last thing, deep-penned every plug, loomed every wire. Went to town on it for a customer, and thanks for having me.
When do you plan to give it back to the customer? Because I know you wrote it in. That's a nice customer. I like those kind of customers.
We're going through a custody battle right now.
That's an amazing machine, man. Congratulations. You know, it's not a very easy thing to choose over there. Like you said, every day we do these shows, we don't even know who the judges are going to be until about 5 minutes before we got to start.